Simon Lee here to talk about the reactance theory. The reactance theory is the idea that when people feel their freedom to perform a certain behavior is threatened and a comfortable state of reactance is aroused, they reduce that behavior by performing the threatened behavior. This theory was composed by American psychologist Jack Brem. Basically, this means that when people are told not to do something, they instead do it. It relates to social psych because it is a study of feelings and actions of people as they are influenced by the presence of others. Real-life examples of the reactance theory would be if you saw a sign that said, "Do not walk on the grass" or "Do not feed the bears," then you would do it just because you were told not to do it. Let's say I want to help others recycle, and I want to do it using a method called reverse psychology. This is a method where I get the other person to do what I want by pretending not to do it or want them to do something else. America has an obsession with celebrities, so I decided to use America's most hated celebrities, the Kardashians, as an example. So if the Kardashians say don't recycle, the general public will immediately recycle because they despise them, and for the last few years they have been publicly disfavorable, and even most of the things that they've promoted have actually caused an opposite reaction, and people are repulsed by what they promote. The reaction of a modern person is to be very reactive to any visual cues. So when people will see any recycling bins, they will feel more compelled to recycle as they remember the terrible promotion to not recycle by the Kardashians because they don't like them and they do not want to satisfy what the Kardashians want. Overall, not only do I want to use the fact that people hate the Kardashians as a way to promote not cycling, but to illustrate that sometimes people don't do what they are told to do. Operation Underground Railroad is an organization started by Tim Ballard that fights human trafficking and has saved hundreds of children from modern slavery nationally and around the globe. Tim recently came to BYU and spoke and shared that he had went to the White House for a meeting to discuss with Trump and other government officials new ways to fight this terrible crime. Tim said that after Trump publicly announced his campaign of anti-human trafficking, a lot of the public that were against Trump were also apprehensive of supporting this campaign, believing it to be fake and with a heavily political agenda. Some companies that sponsored Operation Underground Railroad were so opposed to Trump that they retracted their sponsorship and canceled their funding. This is a perfectly real and dangerous example of reactance theory and reverse psychology and how people tend to do the opposite of what they are told.